Hey everyone, hoping you guys are doing well. I wasn't going to do a video on this, but I have to throw my 2 cents in. Jake freaking Paul. So, the fight with Gervonta Tank Davis is being called off. Supposedly because of Tank Davis's legal problems. Here's the deal, folks. Everybody knows that Tank Davis is a woman beater, okay? It's well documented, well known. So Netflix did not suddenly grow some compassion, grow a pair of testicles, and said, oh no, we can't do this fight. First of all, commissions should have never agreed to allow this to happen in the first place. But the reason why Netflix did this, straight up, is because nobody was buying it. Tickets weren't selling. Okay? Surprisingly, and thankfully, boxing fans' brains started turning on and growing, and they awoke, and they realized just how stupid it is for Jake Paul to be fighting Tank Davis. That's why, the real reason why Jake's not fighting Tank. And in a way, you kind of got to feel bad for fighters on the card. Well, look, Anderson Silva was going to box Chris Weidman. Why? Why? I don't want to see those two again fight each other in MMA, let alone in boxing. I don't need to see Chris Weidman fight ever again. That's something that should not be happening. But, you know, Gary Antoine Russell was putting on a title defense of that WBA welterweight strap. So, I don't know. Supposedly now, because of November 14th coming up, that's way too short to find an opponent to fill in for Tank. So supposedly they're now looking at mid to late December. Okay. Now, MVP Promotions reached out to a couple of guys. They reached out to Ryan Garcia. Ryan freaking Garcia. Why? Why are you reaching out to Ryan? Ryan is the same goddamn thing as Tank freaking Davis. Yeah, I get it. Ryan's fighting at 147, not 135. Okay, it's 2 weight classes up because boxing weight classes are all screwy to begin with. But again, it's a massive weight difference. It's just, it's David versus Goliath. It's Andre the Giant versus a fidget. It makes no sense. Yes, Ryan has super fast hands. We get it. But Tank dropped Ryan. I'll give Jake Paul credit for one thing. He has an overhand right that's pure lights out power. Yes, he has that. He will flatline Ryan Garcia. Nobody needs to see that. His team reached out to Francis Ngannou. Why? That one makes a little bit more sense, at least, than Ryan, but that one makes no sense neither. It really doesn't. Look, Francis Ngannou is still the hardest puncher there is on the planet. I don't doubt that. I wouldn't be surprised by that. But here's the thing. When there was no video, Francis almost put boxing world upside down by almost coming within inches of beating Tyson Fury. What happens when there was video on Francis Ngannou? What happened when Francis Ngannou fought AJ? Anthony Joshua made Francis Ngannou's face into a pincushion with those right hands. And I'm betting you that's what Jake Paul's team is thinking. Well, AJ did it. I could do it. And I hate to say it, I think he could do it. Especially since Francis's footwork is not the cleanest to begin with. Okay? And we saw what happened when Jake Paul actually fought someone around his size, sort of prime-ish, with Tommy Fury. You know, if Jake wants to fight somebody and get a replacement, fight Tommy Fury again. Say you want to avenge your lone loss. I don't like that fight, but I can at least respect if that was the game plan going in, saying, hey, he beat me. He's the only person that ever beat me. I want to get revenge. I get it. Okay? I can understand that fight. I think that would sell. Okay? And that's the other thing. It doesn't just have to be a decent fighter or somewhat of a decent fighter. Jake Paul only wants big names opposite him. And here's the thing. Look, we all know the rankings are screwed up in boxing, right? But he is ranked 14th by the WBA. Eventually, he's going to have to fight guys that don't have big, fleshy names to go across from him. You know, I don't think that Jake's team is using any common sense. I really don't. Because they also reached out to Nate Diaz again. Why? Is Nate Diaz that hard up for drug money again? He said he wants to fight Terence Crawford also. Of course, you know what? When Canelo had all those belts, he was calling out Canelo. Now, so he's not calling out Canelo, now he's calling out Terence. Terence isn't going to fucking fight him. And of all things, Ali Abdelaziz threw his 2 cents in the other day saying, come fight Junior Dos Santos. Really? Another 41-year-old plus fighter? Okay, at least JDS has fought a couple of boxing matches for Game Bred Boxing, Jorge Masvidal's thing. But if you want the flashy name, okay, because you're not going to get AJ either, okay? AJ legitimately wants a title. Call out Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is a shadow of what he once was, okay? Why not call him out? Are you afraid of that right hand that Deontay has? Deontay's footwork stinks. Okay? I mean, Malik Scott at least got Deontay to fight a little bit better going on his back foot. Call Deontay out. Do the Conor fight, because look, here's the thing. Conor McGregor is not fighting UFC White House. That's not happening. Okay? When he broke his leg, that put the fear of bejesus into him. So that's not happening. Okay? He's never, ever, ever going to fight an MMA fight again. It's not happening. And Conor's not going to be fighting bare knuckle either. He's not going to risk his pretty little face and the possibility of breaking an orbital bone. That's not happening. He's not fighting BKFC either. Do the Conor fight now. I could kind of understand that one. So, Deontay makes a little bit of sense. Conor makes a little bit of sense. Tommy Fury actually does make sense. You know, Jaya Pataya, the cruiserweight IBF and ring champion, he ain't gonna fight you. I would love to see Badu Jack, who holds the WBC belt. I'd like to see him fight you. Because I think Badu Jack would break your ribs in half, Jake Paul. And if you don't want people to continue to say that your fights are fixed, and you're threatening to sue people that say it. First of all, Jake, I live in Canarsie, Brooklyn. Come to Canarsie, Brooklyn. I'm not hard to find. Come sue me, you fake ass Mudafuka. Okay, Jake? You need to fight some real, actual boxers, okay? Look at the cruiserweights. I would love to see you fight Lawrence Okoli. That would be a good matchup. But I know, Jake, he isn't a big enough name. Bakoli, Efe Ajagba, Zhang, okay? Take on Beterbiev. David Benavidez, after he fights Anthony Yarde. Do that fight. Do David Benavidez. You know, you're calling out all these guys that are look like fidgets next to you. We boxing fans legitimately know what that is. That's fake and that's money grabs. For Christ's sake, your brother Logan looks more legit of a fighter in the WWE than you do fighting guys like that. Tommy Fury makes sense. Conor makes sense. Deontay Wilder makes sense. But if you legitimately want a belt, you're going to need fighters that don't have the flashy name. Look, you're 14th in the WBA, right? Chris Billum-Smith is 9th, okay? He's no longer with Eddie Hearn and DAZN. He's with Ben Shalom and Boxer. Fight him. Take him on. Okay? Who's next? You going to call out Willie Pep? We're going to go to Willie Pep's grave, dig him up, and you're going to fight him? Jake fights guys like 58-year-old Mike Tyson, a 58-year-old who just had a heart attack, Mike Tyson. The only thing that Nate Robinson could have possibly beaten Jake Paul at is maybe a 3-point contest. Ben Askren after hip surgeries. A washed Tyron Woodley. I mean, those are guys on your resume. Oh, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.'s on your resume? Come on. That cat's washed too. Fight someone with at least an equal dynamite hand. And I get it, that's why your team is kind of calling out Francis Ngannou. But wanting Ryan Garcia, really? And yeah, if you fought Francis, I think I would make you the favorite. Only because your footwork is slightly better than his. His sucks and yours sucks a little bit less. There's no hand feinting. There's no changing levels from you. It is a Shiite show with you. And I get it. You are a money-making machine. No two ways about it. God bless. I wish I was you. But some legit names, Jake. Call out Benavidez. Call out Acoli. Call out Martin Bacoli. Call out F.A. Ajagba. Okay. I get it. You and Bob Arum have issues, so you're not calling out Richie Torres. I get that. But you're never going to fight Anthony Joshua, so stop it. You're never going to fight Terrence Crawford, so stop it. Do Wilder, do Conor. Look, guys, do me a favor, because I'm getting frustrated here. Just talking Jake Paul makes my blood boil. This guy is like scratching fingernails on a chalkboard to me. It's slowly I turn. Do me a favor, guys, please. Like this video, share it out. Hit that subscribe button like I would like to hit Jake Paul. Jake, if you want to sue me, you're fake ass. I'm in Canarsie, Brooklyn. And also, guys, please, down below, you tell me what you think about Jake Paul. And until the next video, Cyclone saying, peace out, homies.